Kingdoms of Amalur begins with your player character being thrown into a pit of bones, presumed dead. Well, fate has other plans for you as you get revived, escape, only to find out you're some kind of chosen one. Go figure. You get dialogue choices, but you aren't voiced, making the fairly stereotypical fantasy story have a less meaningful impact. The thing that set this game apart from other fantasy RPGs at the time was not the story, but the combat. For starters, you don't create a class. Weapons are very much tied to different playstyles, and you can equip 2 at a time. Going from a slow but deadly hammer to a nimble dagger always felt great. The more you unlock in the skill tree, the more diverse your combat options will become. Besides the 9 weapons, magic also has more of an impact when trying to produce combos. It's not as intricate as other action games like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, but it was certainly more involved than, say, Skyrim. It's also more colorful than Skyrim, to be sure. From dank caves to rainbow glittering forests, there are so many diverse landscapes to discover. There is perhaps too much to the game, which can become daunting, especially with the central story not being so motivating to guide the player along. It's a fun fantasy world to play around in, but not one that is worth drinking the lore of, if that makes sense. I remember this game fondly, and those are pretty much my thoughts on the game from 2012, and they still hold true today. That's because not much was changed for this remaster. All of the previous DLCs included. There are changes to how level gating works along with the randomization of loot, plus there is a new difficulty, very hard. That's not much considering a lot of problems with the original are still present. The loads are less than stellar, you can't jump off cliffs unless prompted, making some navigation a hassle. There is no lock-on system, which is desperately needed because the camera angles can be atrocious. The game doesn't even have a photo mode. Basically, there isn't much new other than a few balancing tweaks and a shiny-ish coat of paint. That's disappointing, especially since other THQ Nordic re-releases from this year changed more. That said, I'm also happy that they decided to bring this back in some form for a new generation to experience it easier. It's a hidden gem from the PS3 and Xbox 360 generation, and hopefully it can pave the way for a sequel at long last. Did you like that video? If you did, please like, subscribe, and spread the good word of ReActionExaminer. If you want to read more of my stuff, you can find a plethora of my articles over at TheGamer and Game Rant. All of those links and more are in the show notes below. Thanks for watching!